King and Sin Story. Once upon a time, there was a king who decided that he would feed kheer to 100 blind people every day. But one day, a snake entered the royal kitchen and puts its mouth in the milk containing kheer and poisoned it. That day, all blind people who ate that kheer died. When king came to know about it, he got very upset, thinking that I would be guilty of the sin of killing 100 people. In a state of distress, king left his kingdom and went to the forests to live rest of his life devoting to God, so that he could be forgiven for this sin. On his way to forest came a village on the way. King asked the people sitting in the chow pao whether there was any devout family in this village so that he could spend the night at their house. People sitting there told him that there is a house where brother and sister live who worship a lot. King went to their house and asked for their permission to spend night there. Both of them allowed him, and king stayed at their house for the night. When the king woke up in the morning, the girl was sitting at the puja. Girl's routine was that she would get up and from puja before daybreak and prepare breakfast. But that day girl remained sitting in puja for a long time. When the girl woke up, her brother said, "Sister, you have woken up so late. A traveler has come to his house and he has to go away after having breakfast." Girl replied, "Brother, there was a complicated matter above. Dharamraj had to take a decision on a complicated situation, and I had stopped to hear that decision. That's why I kept mediating for a long time." Her brother asked, "What was the matter?" Girl replied, "King of a certain state used to feed kheer to blind people, but one day 100 blind people died after eating poisoned kheer because a snake entered the kitchen and poisoned that kheer. Now Dharmraj is not able to understand whether the sin of death of blind people should be blamed on the king, the snake, or the cook who left the milk without covering it." King was also listening. After hearing what related to him, King got interested in knowing the result of that matter. So he asked the girl what was the decision then. Girl told that no decision had been taken yet. Hearing this, King asked, "Can I stay at your house for one more night?" Both the brother and sister happily agreed to it. King stopped for the next day, but the people sitting in the chow pao started talking about the person who had come to our village to stay for a night yesterday. They said, "What if after spending the night, that strange man did not go, because after seeing the young girl the man's intentions went wrong. Therefore, he stay at the house of that beautiful and young girl, or he will run away with the girl." Whole day, they kept talking about brother and sister and strange man, who had not left even after a night. King was being criticized throughout the day in the chow pao. Next morning, the girl again sat for meditation and woke up as per her routine. So the king asked, "Daughter, who was held responsible for the murder of blind people?" Girl replied that sin was taken by the people sitting in the chow pao of our village. Learning of the story. A slenderer always carries the sin of others on his own head, and he also suffers the consequences of the sins committed by others. Therefore, we should always avoid condemning others.